What up?
All right.
What up, everybody? How are we all doing out there? Us too. Bonus. Hey, if you don't know Izzie from Izzie's Caravan, you should. Yes. Izzie, what's up? How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. How's it going out there?
Going good. Going good. So I'm going through the press kit and listening to some of the music, and I got to tell you, I really like it. I like it's. For me, it's a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of blues, a little bit of indie here and there. And then looking through the press kit a little more, those are the influence. So I'm like, yeah, all right, I hit it right. All right, good job, Chris. Now, you guys are getting pretty popular in the UK.
Really? I had no clue, man. Honestly.
Okay. That's just the way that
he's a rocker.
sounds.
He just plays.
I love it.
I'm a musician. I just play. I want to make people happy to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Now, you guys are based, some of the stuff that I was reading out of North Carolina. Is that correct?
No. We started off in Canada. And
Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
The roots are in just south of Detroit, actually.
Okay.
And
Which part of
Windsor.
Detroit? I got family in Detroit.
Well, in Windsor, which is really close to Detroit.
Oh yeah.
So so we started in a little town and trying to get by, man. Play some good rock and roll, and it's it's like, I guess it's that blue collar small city spirit that sort of comes out in music as well. So yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome. I really like it. Now, you've got some awards here. And excuse me, I got my cheat sheet here if you don't mind, because my brain's just not quite there all the time. You understand, right? You've got Track Music Awards for Zephyrs, Official Selection, Whiskey Alley Blues, Drowning Man's Blues. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. When you guys got these awards, were you guys expecting it, or was it kind of like, oh, wow, what was it like for you?
Man, honestly, it's all pretty surreal at this point, because when I even started this project, honestly, I had no clue that I'd be here speaking with you guys. Because it's been a pretty rocky ride, and that's like standard, I guess, textbook material.
That's music, right?
Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, and it's and I guess that's the whole sort of the beauty of it is life isn't fun when it's just going all smooth, right? So
Right.
So it took a long time to get here, though. We started off in early 2000s. Released a couple of records back then, and then I bailed, man. I quit music. I was done with it. I didn't like where it was going. I hated the fact that the guitar had become this. It's like furniture now for a lot of people, right? Everyone's got one. It's in their house, and to me, it was always a very sacrilegious sort of instrument, right? So I gave up music, and it wasn't until maybe for a decade or so, and it wasn't until 2018 or so when I just happened to pick it up, and when I did, I was like, holy shit, this is like, I got to do this, man. And went back, but this time I was like, all right, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the right way. And so broke out the record collection. I grew up really hardcore into like early AEROSMITH and Zeppelin and Stones, all the classic bands, right? And then I realized,
rock. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, right? Like the 60s, 70s. I mean, to me, that was like, the holy house of music, right?
Absolutely.
And then it suddenly hit me, man. It was like, holy shit, it's not. I mean, all these bands have one thing in common, and that's the blues. And from there, it just sort of, it was like a like a surreal moment in your life, and you're like, holy crap, I figured it out. This is what it's about. And that's when it took me into this whole sort of borderline academic journey into, Americana history, right? Where
Yeah.
from, because it's so bound in the land, right? Where it's the Delta or Mississippi and stuff like that. And then it's just getting into, everything from Lightning Hopkins to Buddy Guy to Johnny Winter to Rory Gallagher. I mean, it just sort of like blew up, and so I had this newfound sort of love for the guitar, and I guess for the better, right? A little older, a little wiser, and just
A little more appreciation, right?
absolutely, man. It's
Get back to the soul of music.
I get it.
I like it. Like you hit that hard, like really good. Where it's all those big bands that had blues as their base.
Yeah.
That's a big part of that thing. As long as you don't flow into the disco era and start going there, or into the '80s, where you had to go back to the '80s to get good jazz saxophone, saxophone in the music. So you're not going to hit it that synthesizer or the saxophone.
Can you say synthesizer?
Synthesizer.
That too. I know I can't, but anyway.
Right? That's the way it used to be, right? But
yeah.
70s and 80s was like really, I mean, right now in this age, everything's auto-tuned. So it sounds like a bunch of robots singing.
Yeah.
It's just really nice and we were just listening to your music before this, and we were like, man, that's really, really good stuff. And so you're right, you're going back to where it used to be, where there was a serious appreciation for music. So we appreciate that as well.
And what's cool is you're literally right over the bridge in Windsor, just north of Detroit. So you guys had a great influence in music there with Motown. And I know a lot of Motown isn't really bluesy, but you could use that as a reference. Am I mistaken, or am I right on the right track for you guys?
No, I guess Detroit's always been a rock and roll city, right? It's when you hear the stories of even these classic rock bands, Detroit always sort of the one place that really sort of opened up to you was Detroit, and that was a really cool thing. And again, I guess it's having that sort of blue collar, working class city vibe, which rock and roll sort of used to appeal to, right? And it's kind of sad that it's sort of been pushed so far to the fringes now, right? And it's it's something I'm sure people could use right now, especially listening to good old rock, because it's so human, right? I mean, and that's what we try to do as well. It's and unashamedly so, right? I don't really care whether it's like because I've never bought into this whole sort of mentality of I don't get it, right? I don't understand what a TikTok musician is, or what an Instagram musician is, or I don't know what that is, right? Somebody recently was like, all right, okay, so look, you want to promote your music, this is what you got to do, right? And I'm like, all right, what? Like, you got to go on TikTok, man. I was like, look, okay. So I humored, this whole sort of conversation going on. And this guy's like, well, you have to let the audience decide what songs you want to write. And I was like, absolutely not, right? That's not what it's about. I'm not gonna go on TikTok. I don't know what it means to become viral or whatever, right? Like I sort of come from that old school, that traditionalist sort of, all right, here's a record, let's go out and play. Let's go back, record, let's go out and play, right? Too bad we can't do that right now. But
so you're not playing at all? You don't have ability to play live?
It's been rough, man.
We're open here. We got to get you out live.
Yeah. We're actually working on a 20-city summer tour next in June. So hopefully the whole Midwest region there.
We'll have to get ST Productions and have them come out to Rockland.
Yeah.
We just had ST Productions in our area has a great little venue in Rockland, and we just had Parmalee.
Hold on. We are in Northern California,
right.
Just so you know that. I wasn't sure.
Northern California is a little more open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've had live music. We've seen Flock of Seagulls. We've seen
Warrants.
Oh,
So
nice,
it's starting
dude.
to happen.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting live outdoor concerts right now,
Mhm.
and you'd be ideal for something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be really good to have you on your tour that way.
That would be cool.
Warren, they're all like, is it like the old guys or is it?
Yeah, it's the old guys except Janie passed
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, Janie's not there. Yeah.
I was the lead singer, was fantastic. I mean, he did a
Really?
great job. We, hands off to that guy. He did a fantastic job for taking over the band.
Yeah, those are big shoes to fill, man, because fans, Janie's
I'll tell you, the coolest thing that we saw there when we were there is Y&T was there in the crowd supporting Warrant.
Cool.
Those guys are like 80 years old.
Yeah.
And
Hey, you're not that old.
but they had the
Summertime girls.
But you know what,
I
it
was
was
having
really
a
cool
moment.
because it's just starting to open back up again, and to have Y&T come out, and they were hanging with the crowd, and they were taking pictures with people and all that. So they were there, and they were up there rocking with Warren and everything. It was just so fun to see, and it was great that, as you know, everybody's been needing this so bad. Music's what's going to heal this world.
Oh my God, yeah, I agree.
So you're a part of it.
Absolutely.
So as you get out and you start doing that, that should be a big thing, because as you start seeing people out listening to music, like, people are happy.
Yes.
They're out there, they're happy, they're dancing, they're singing, and there's a healing part of that. And music is definitely the vehicle to make that happen.
Yeah,
So
in a sort of twisted way, maybe rock and roll needed this sort of moment of resurrection, right, or revitalization, I guess, where in a sort of like out of a tragedy into, all right, let's try and heal this the best we can, and because I mean, to me, blues and rock always thrives in the live setting, right? I mean, studio is fun, but you do that to get on the road, and I sort of laugh, at the fact that we're, I sort of jokingly call ourselves the pandemic band, where literally, I mean, December 20, yeah, it was Christmas Day 2019 when I dropped my first sort of the new LP, and that's right around when things started becoming a little serious, and I was like, oh, just my luck, dude. Just when I get back into this, this thing comes and completely, and it was crazy because. Yeah, because we record one LP, drop another one, and we're like, all right, let's do a summer thing, let's go play some shows. That didn't happen. Drop another EP. All right, hopefully we can do a Christmas tour or something, right? Winter tour. That didn't happen, right? Drop an album. We're like, all right, we'll probably go, do some shows in the summer. That's not happening. So finally, we're like, okay, you know what? 2022 summer, let's lock it. Fingers crossed, because we have so much music behind us now, and it's like, I mean, it's really not going to be that much of an issue, coming out with music to play on these shows. So and we're, I'm already neck deep into recording the next album for another Christmas release, right? So so it's been a lot of recording, but it's time we took the circus on the road, man.
So you don't have a lack of content, because when we were looking through, you got a lot of albums.
Yeah.
Like you got more of a collection of albums than I've seen in a long time. That's right. So, like, how long's the band been around, considering how much content you have?
It's largely myself and Sim. He's the vocalist, and him and I go back in early 2000s when we actually set this the original version of this, and so when I got back into music, I actually dropped a couple of EPs, by myself, and then the whole idea actually was well as myself, and the Caravan aspect was, I'll start sort of bringing in external musicians to come and play with me, and that would sort of open up this, it's like, not that I'm comparing myself to him or anything, but it's like Bob Dylan and the band, right? Sometimes it was Tom Petty backing him up, or sometimes it was, the band or whatever, right? So I figured that's probably how it's gonna go. And inevitably, things started to become a little bit more structured. Robbie came in on the keyboards, and he's like a regular fixture now. Sin came back, and he's like a regular fixture, obviously. So there's still some really cool musicians who come in, and especially for the new record that I'm working on, which is, I'm really excited about this one. So I'm bringing in some like really good, solid musicians. So yeah, I was just saying that, yeah, so that was sort of like the whole idea behind this Caravan thing. And but yeah, it's become a lot more structured now. And once we go on the road, there's going to be a more sort of regular feel to it. But yeah, it's always going to be this way, where there are, people coming in, and external musicians coming in, and I think that's always fun, where you bring in different people with a different feel, and they all contribute their own unique sort of take on some of these songs. Otherwise, I pretty much end up doing all the songwriting and stuff.
Okay, so Alice Cooper does something kind of similar, where it's mainly him as the core, and he brings in guitarists, brings in drummers, and is like, hey, when you come in, you're here. When you decide to leave, it's time to take off. So would Izzie's Caravan be in that category?
Yeah, most likely.
That's cool.
Yeah. So so there's and again, it sounds a little fragmented, but when you're so passionate about something, and to me, I'm very sort of protective about my identity, where I do go back, and again, and I do it again without any apologies at all, right? But for example, the EP that I dropped last year, On the Bull, which went on the Relix Jam Band charts as well. That was really cool. I call that my identity record, right? I call that my Johnny Winter record. So when I do these things, I always sort of ground it in a historic figure, right? In somebody that's so influential to me. So I refer to some of these records based on, Zephyrs was like my Tom Petty record. On the Bull was my Johnny Winter record, right? The next one that I'm working on is my Rory Gallagher record, right? So I sort of really have a vision of, what I'm trying to do. And sometimes, democracy doesn't work that way, right? It's like CCR, right? We know CCR was John Fogerty, right?
Yes.
That was, and he kept it going until everyone's like, oh, we want to write. And that was pretty much the end of CCR, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes, when you have a vision, I mean, it's like, again, I guess maybe we could even throw Bon Jovi in that category as well, right? We know, he's the guy who sort of holds the reins to that sort of thing.
And Richie Sambora left because, let's be honest, his ego kind of got in the way, and he felt that he could do a better job until he couldn't, and then came back.
Yeah. And, and that's why sometimes, I believe it was John himself who said, sometimes, look, in a rock band, sometimes, democracy might not be the best thing, right? One guy's got to have a vision, and you have to live that vision. I mean, you can fall on that sword, but that's yours to fall on, right? And so I do take credit for that, right? Where if it works, it's on me. If it doesn't work, that's also on me. But the one thing that you're always going to get with our music is it's going to be grounded in traditionalism. We're not going to go into any, you're not going to see us on TikTok, man. You're not going to see on Instagram like 15-second shredding, or I don't know what that is, man. That's not going to happen. The yeah, the only place you're gonna actually hear our songs is actually, on the record. So,
I get it.
Let me ask you this, because you do a lot of writing. Do you have a process? Is there something that you do to sit and start writing? Is there something? Is there a method to your madness?
yeah, it's
like, what is it?
well, it's definitely, it's definitely madness, but it's really organic, man. Sometimes, honestly, most of these riffs have just come out of me sitting with a guitar and just playing, right? And so you throw some drum tracks on, you just start jamming out, and I think for me, the measurement of when I've hit gold is if I've played a riff or something and a few days later it's in my head, right? And it's there, right? That idea, it's like Inception, right? The idea is in my head now. And that's when I'm like, all right, I got to go back and record this thing again. So most of the music comes out that way. The lyrics are all really human stories, right? I mean, whether it's Drowning Man's Blues, which is about just me, right? So I often just create these characters, and I think these characters. So it's just me, sort of, visualizing the world through these characters in many cases, right? So that was about somebody just wanting to give up their life and just travel the Delta, Mississippi, and stuff.
Cool.
Blues, or Whiskey Alley Blues was about, it was a take on the whole Robert Johnson myth about him going to the crossroads and selling his soul.
Yeah.
So I sort of played on that, and a lot of times it's just me literally just watching the news, and I hear something and I'm like, I don't have a Twitter account, so I'm not that self-indulgent where I'm just going to go and tweet something, right? And
Izzie,
so my vehicle. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I was just saying, so when I watch the news and stuff, rather than just, in 260 characters, spout my opinion, which really doesn't matter to anyone.
Yeah.
My vehicle sort of becomes a song, right? I'll write about, whether it's Brexit or whether it's, politics, or whether, and it's not about taking any sides. I think I've been pretty generous and slamming everyone. So so that, yeah. So it's very, it's just human stories, right? That's what the narrative usually is.
Yeah. Have you seen that documentary on Robert Johnson, by the way, on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I got a big kick out of that. I was like, wow, that was pretty amazing. I had heard this, like you, we've all heard the stories, but just the in-depth encounters in regards to that was pretty cool. At least I thought, Now, I have one last question, and it's kind of a little sideways, but it's kind of a little fun. Izzie's Caravan gets asked to open for A, and it's in B. Go.
AEROSMITH.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know why. For some reason, Wembley Stadium was the first.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is way too funny. So when we first got on, and I started talking about UK, Wembley Stadium popped into my head. So is that ironic? That's actually pretty cool. You know all that kind of good stuff anyway. I'm psychotic or something. I don't know. I get those mixed up. About that.
AEROSMITH, just because it's like, it's I grew up a die-hard AEROSMITH fan.
Just a little bit.
Joe Perry was like when I was a kid, I was just like, man, I just want to be like this guy, right?
Are you so die-hard that you're a huge fan of the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band movie?
That was as bad as what was that? Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park or something.
Because they were the super villain band. That was awesome. They were the super villain band. You got to be so die hard.
Oh, dude. You know what really cracked me up? I was, you know, for some reason, YouTube pulled me into Paul Stanley's book because the entire audio book is on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And one day I just started listening to it and I couldn't stop. And his whole story of his narration of the whole recording of when Kiss was recording man, I saw them. I'll never forget. I was like, wow, this is terrible. It's so bad. It's so good, right? It's just one of those things that you're like, oh, you know. And yeah, his you know, when he was recalling the filming of that, even it's like he was so ashamed of it, man. He's like, I don't even know why we did that thing. But yeah, like even the Aerosmith one was hilarious, dude.
So good. I get to see Kiss this next month, right here.
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah, they're going to be up really close to us. I got tickets for that one. I don't even.
Oh, God.
You know, Kiss is a great one because they can't sing. They're terrible singers. But they put on the most amazing show you've ever seen in your life. So they've compensated with all the crazy stuff that they do. So you have to go watch it. It's just so amazing in that way.
It's funny. I saw them on the farewell tour in, what was that, 2001?
Yeah, the farewell tour.
Yeah.
Not 25.
Yeah, and they had Skid Row and Ted Nugent opening for them.
Nice.
I used to love Skid Row. I think Skid Row was a great band.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. So it was cool to see them. Yeah, but that show was absolutely mind blowing, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What was your very first concert?
Wow.
Hope it's not like Tiffany or something.
No. Boy George. No.
I almost got it that bad. I started well. I started with Judas Priest and Slayer.
Oh, sweet.
My second concert ever was Wham.
I was like, all the way, yeah.
Yeah, so then I had to make it up by going to Megadeth.
True.
Oh, dude, when I saw Megadeth when they were opening for Motley Crue, and
good concert.
And it was really, really awesome because I ended up hanging out with Al Pitrelli and Dave Ellefson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were literally chilling out in the parking lot. And I was like, all right, what do I do, right? So me and a bunch of these guys were like, oh, let's just go to them, man. And they were really, Dave Ellefson was, they were really cool, man. They hung out, took pictures with us. They should like literally hang out in the car park, man. So that was really awesome.
Yeah,
that was a great show. Motley Crue and Megadeth. I mean, to me, that was a recipe for disaster. I was just waiting for all mayhem to break loose at some point, right? And I was like, come on, man, so
I actually have a Ted Nugent story.
Uh-oh.
So
we're in a show today, right?
I know. I'm going to be clean. So I'm 19 years old. I go and see Dan Yankees when he was playing with Tommy Shaw,
yeah,
so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
And I had backstage tickets. So we're talking and BSing, and he's like, hey, you need to come to Michigan and go hunting with me. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, being young and dumb, I'm too nervous to call him up or anything like that. So my buddy who saw him again like a year later calls me up and goes, hey, Ted was asking, why didn't you ever get in contact with him? And I went, no, he didn't. I'm dead serious. He straight up asked, why didn't you go hunting with him? And he was offended. And, me, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed many times.
Absolutely. But it was like one of those moments I'll probably never, ever, ever in my life get back that I regret. One thing, not being able to go hunting with Ted Nugent, which that would have been so fun.
So as we kind of wind this show up,
Yeah.
It's been great talking to you because honestly, I feel like I could talk forever.
Oh, absolutely.
But we got to move on. One of my biggest questions, I think I've never asked this, but as you have such a catalog of music, and I'm really excited to go in and start doing a lot of listening and really becoming a big fan of yours. Just because your personality is awesome, but just even to listen to some of the music, it definitely fulfills what I like in music.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I definitely want to start digging into your catalog. What do you want when a fans come in to listen to your music? What are you really hoping that their journey is going to be like? What are you trying to tell that fan when they listen to your music? What should that fan be preparing?
Honestly, like a very, very authentic journey. It's honest. It's no frills. It's nothing. It's just straight old school blues music, blues rock music. It's we just want the audience to realize that look, maybe there is still life left in rock and roll, right? There's still life left in the blues. I mean, the Grammys may not think so, but we'll take it back to where it came from, which is the streets, right? Which is about honest human stories, and whatever your day is going. I mean, it's someone out there who you're listening to has experienced the same thing. So it's so it's literally just appealing to to that sort of introspective journey that the audience that listen that I to me it's like when I listen to music, right? I mean, there are times when I'll like Rory Gallagher, right? Rory Gallagher means the world to me, right? I mean, in that sense, it's just like sometimes when I listen to it, it's like you just want to. It's like this explosion of emotions and feelings, right? Sometimes you hear like a lick or something he does, and it's just like holy crap! I mean, it just blows you away, right? Obviously, we're not saying that it's going to be that sort of experience because people like Rory Gallagher only come once in a lifetime, right? But it's we're as honest as it gets, right? And it's what you probably take out of when you see us live as well, right? It's just we're like your classic raw abrasive jam band. That's who we are, right? There's no pretense, right? None of us are saying we're bona fide rock stars or oh, look at me, I'm as good as Stevie Ray Vaughan or something. No, not at all. It's just there you go. We're just doing what we do to the best of our abilities. This is what we can write about. This is what we write about. This is what we do best. And that's it. It's just authenticity, I guess. That's pretty much the word.
Awesome. That's awesome. Hey, I'm gonna try something new. We haven't done this before, so Chris doesn't even know. But all of our guests that are in studio, we actually have them sign our wall. I would love it if we would like to put your autograph up on the wall. So if you could send us whatever, however you want to send it, it could be just a piece of paper, it could be on something that's your band or something. But I would like to start putting up our guests on our wall that aren't in studio. So if you could do that for us, we'd really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming on What Up. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
No, absolutely, for sure. I'll send it to you.
Good? Yeah. Perfect. That's awesome. As you see, we're collecting stuff on our wall as well behind us, but it's for studio.
In Yoda, we trust, as you can tell.
Yeah, exactly. There's me as a Viking. We're having fun.
Oh, yeah.
But we just want to thank you for coming on. You're absolutely, I think you're incredible. I'm really excited about your music. Chris was really excited about this interview, and this turned out so fantastic. I really appreciate you. And we like to follow up like 6 months to a year later, how things are going. And I hope you're out there playing in front of audiences soon.
Definitely.
The new album should be out
by
December. So we'll definitely touch base then. And cheers for having me on. And
perfect.
And I do this with a lot of my interviewers as well. That if it wasn't for you guys, we'd be nowhere, right? So cheers to you guys for doing what you guys do, which is really awesome, you know. So thank you, and I can't wait to be back now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, on what up?
Hey,
Thank you very
what
much,
up?
and
Thank
have a
you,
good time,
Izzie.
and best to you.
Everybody out there have a great day. And one more thing, folks. Hey, thank you to Anchor by Spotify for being our sponsor for this show today.
That's right.
And if you guys would like opportunities to be a sponsor for this show, we'll have some information down below for you, as well as Izzie Caravan information down below where you can find them.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.
All right.
Izzie,
Have a good one.
peace.
Cheers.